Hello, and welcome to the MMA Mic Drop Podcast. My name is Jade Bunky, and I'm joined by the one and only MMA Milo, who is not only an emerging MMA analyst, but also one of the nation's top up-and-coming amateur surfers. And as you can see it, he has a little issue with his eye. Now, was that injury due to his MMA training or to his surfing? We will let you know later in the show. But first, we have a big fight we need to talk about, and this fight card is absolutely stacked. It's UFC Saudi Arabia. Adesanya versus Imavov. And for a free fight night card, this is as good as it gets. Adesanya, a two-time middleweight champion. He is the second greatest middleweight of all time. The fact that he's headlining a fight night card is amazing, but it doesn't stop there. There are incredible fights up and down the card, compelling matchups. And yeah, this fight card is stacked. I give it a solid A. Milo, what would you how would you grade it?
I'd give it an A too.
Awesome. What fight are you looking forward to the most?
I think the Shara Bullet versus Michael Page fight is going to be really good.
That's a good one too. Yeah, and that's a co-main event. And this fight card is stacked. And that was actually, I think, with the previous co-main event was actually canceled, and this fight card is still stacked. So let's get right into it. Israel Adesanya is a minus 155 versus Nassourdine Imavov. It's funny. There are a lot of people picking Imavov. Adesanya is coming off back-to-back losses. The first time in his career that's ever happened. It's against DDP and Sean Strickland, both title fights. I think, and he's also 35 years old. But I think the thing that a lot of people are forgetting is that he was outclassing DDP that entire fight. He was outclassing, and it looked like he just slowed down a little bit and became a little lackadaisical and got put on the ground, got caught a couple times on his feet. But early in that fight, he was by far the better fighter. So I still think he may have slipped a bit, but maybe not too much. Adesanya is one of the best kickboxers in UFC history. One of the best to do it at middleweight, the second best ever behind Anderson Silva. Robert Whittaker would be third. But I think Adesanya is going to light up Imavov. Imavov's good, and he looked pretty good against Brendan Allen. He's faced some pretty good competition. Right now, let me check. Yeah, he's ranked number 4. Adesanya is ranked number 2. I think Izzy kind of styles on him, but Izzy's not necessarily the most aggressive fighter. I think it might be more of a methodical beatdown. But I think it's going to be a pretty one-sided fight. I think give me Adesanya by a dominant decision. Milo, what do you think?
Oh, I agree. I think Adesanya's going to finish him, though. I think I'm going to go Adesanya by third round TKO.
Awesome. All right, next up, Shara Bullet versus Michael Venom Page. This is a fascinating fight, and the odds are a little surprising to me. And Milo, you tell me if you agree with this.
Yeah.
Shara Bullet is the favorite at minus 185. Do you want to break this down break down this fight first, or do you want me to?
I can do it.
All right.
I'm pretty confident that Michael Venom Page is just gonna win by points. Shara he looked good in his last fight, but he was arguably like losing those first rounds. It was close. It was a close fight.
Yeah.
So I think Michael's he's definitely, I think he's better on the feet, even though even that's Shara's strong point. So I'm gonna go Michael Venom Page by decision.
So it's interesting you say that. I completely agree with you. I think Michael Venom Page is just a different beast. He is like one of the, I said Israel Adesanya is one of the best kickboxers in UFC history. Michael Venom Page and maybe Stephen Wonderboy Thompson are the two best kickboxers in UFC history. He is right there. He is an elite level athlete. And Shara Bullet, like you said, he's got incredible striking. He's got fast hands. He had that incredible double spinning back fist, which was highlight of the year. Going to be one of the best highlights of the year, no doubt about it. But like you said, he's not dominating guys, And I think he might be a little overrated. We know he doesn't have a good ground game, but that's okay. Neither does Michael Venom Page. But I think this is going to stay on the feet. And when you look at Michael Venom Page, he is such an elite level athlete. But the first thing you have to say is age 37. How's he is anything going to drop off? But I don't think it's going to drop off because we saw him, 7 months ago against Ian Machado Gary. And even though he lost that fight, I thought I thought it could go either way. I gave it to Michael Venom Page. He was the better fighter on the feet. He was faster than Ian Machado Gary at that age. So I don't think a lot has changed since then. I think he is going to light Shara Bullet up. I think this is a mismatch. The only thing to take into consideration is that Shara Bullet's much bigger. Michael Venom Page is coming up from welterweight to middleweight, right? But I think he's, like you said, I like the outpoint analogy because that's exactly what I think is going to happen. He's going to wait. He's patient. He's going to counter him. But I think he's going to counter him all day, and I think he's going to light him up. Give me MVP by second round TKO. All right, speaking of knockouts, I think we're going to get something here. Sergei Pavlovich versus Jairzinho Rozenstruik. Pavlovich is a minus 305 favorite. Milo, what do you think is going to happen?
I would have thought of this fight going different maybe a few months ago, but after that fight with Volkov, I think I'm going to go Rozenstruik.
Wow.
I think it's gonna. I don't think it's gonna go to a knockout either. I think it's gonna go to decision.
Yeah, because Rozenstruik's very methodical, despite his kickboxing pedigree. Likes to take his time. I think a little too much, and you just think he's going to be a little more technically sound than Sergey.
Yep, I think so.
So it's funny, you know, they said since seeing that. I have after seeing him against Shamil Gaziev, I don't think Rozenstruik, and actually I have all of his fights recently, Rozenstruik, with the exception of maybe one fight, is just a little too slow paced. He's got that kickboxing pedigree, but it doesn't seem like he really puts it to good use in a dominant way. You know, he's low volume and he's very hittable. And I think if you're very hittable against Sergei Pavlovich, you know, it's gonna spell night for you. And he doesn't have the biggest gas tank. I think this is a mismatch. I think Sergey's gonna knock him out. I think he's gonna knock him out in the second round. Give me Sergei Pavlovich second round knockout. All right, next up we have Said Nurmagomedov versus Vinicius Oliveira. This is a close fight. It's almost Nurmagomedov is a minus 162. Nurmagomedov, really good striker, really solid wrestler as well, really good kicks, just an all-around game. But we look at Oliveira, he's, you know, really coming to the UFC. I mean, kind of like a bat out of hell. I mean, he had that crazy flying knee finish in his first fight. Then he dominated his second fight. He's 2-0. He looks like the real deal. This is a really high-level fight between two really good guys. I would say Nurmagomedov has greater technical acumen, but I think Oliveira has a little more creativity and a little more power. And this is the one that really could go either way. I don't know, but I'm thinking give me Oliveira by third round TKO. What do you think?
I agree. I think Oliveira by third round TKO.
Yeah, this is one of the best fights on the card. This is truly a great fight. And then opening the main card, and one of these fights would have been, you know, pushed down to the bottom if, like I said, Aliskerov and Muniz were fighting, but that fight was scrapped. But Fares Ziam versus Mike Davis, this is another really good fight. Mike Davis is a minus 148. Ziam has, you know, a really good striking game, you know, okay wrestling. Mike Davis is all around pretty good, but he doesn't fight as much or as frequently as, you know, he should. So this is kind of a tricky one. Ziam has all the momentum, but, you know, it's funny. I always laugh when people say somebody has all the momentum because momentum means nothing once you get into the cage. You know, it's how you are that particular night. This is another one that can go either way. I really don't know. But, you know, I'm taking the underdog. It's a slight underdog. I think Ziam is a little underrated. I think he's a solid fighter, really good all-around fighter. Give me Ziam by a really fun but close decision.
I'm going to go Mike Davis by decision.
All right. So there you have it. All right. We have, this is, okay, looks like it's a 6-fight main card. So an opening would be Naimov versus Ofli. Naimov is minus 310, and this surprises me. So Naimov is good. He's a really good fighter, but he's old. He's really old, and I'm trying to look. I think he's 39, and I just can't see him beating the younger guy at that. You know, just given his age. Ofli is 31 years old, and I know that's not the best way to, you know, maybe break down a fight, because I think Nurmagomedov is a better fighter. 39 is really old in the UFC. So give me Ofli give me third round TKO. I think he's going to get it done. What do you think?
I'm gonna go Namayev by knockout in the first round.
Oh wow. Okay, so we're on the different. We're somewhat diametric, or we are diametrically opposed on a couple of these. This is interesting. Shamil Gayev versus Thomas Peterson. Shamil, great athlete despite his gigantic beer belly. He's a really good athlete. He's has really good ground and pound, but he has zero cardio. We saw that against Rozenstruik, where he looked absolutely horrible. And Rozenstruik didn't look good. It was just that Gaziev looked that bad, and he just gassed. And when I say gassed, he gassed. I mean, in the opening minutes of the second round, it was a really bad showing. Thomas Peterson. Let me see. What was his last fight against? Was that against? Can you see who his last fight against? What? Let's see. Oh wait, here we go. Oh yeah, he beat Usman, lost to Jamal Pogues. I don't think he's going to have anything for Gaziev if Gaziev makes it past or he gets him out of there early. I think Gaziev, if it starts getting into the third round, he could be in all sorts of trouble. And originally I was thinking Peterson might outpoint him, survive the first round, and win a 29-28 decision. But I'm going to take the minus 340 favorite Gaziev by first round TKO.
I agree.
Are you okay?
TKO, yeah.
But anything can happen in this one. And in this one, this is my favorite fight of the prelims. Why? Because somebody's going to get knocked out and somebody's going to get knocked out badly. Terrance McKinney versus Damir Hadžović. McKinney is a minus 485, and I don't think those odds are high enough. Hadžović, I believe he's like 38, and he hasn't been in the UFC for the last 3 years. And Terrance McKinney, all of his finishes have come within the first round and early in the first round. He knocks people out, and he knocks people out quickly. I believe it was 7 seconds when he knocked out Matt Pavlov. And then he's had other finishes. The problem is he gets finished as well. So it's, he lives and dies by the sword. He is good everywhere. Has incredible power. He's an elite level wrestler. I mean, he's complete, but he has shown that he can be finished. And he's only 5-4 in the UFC, and I think he is probably the most underrated fighter in the UFC because I think he can, when he's on his game, he is so elite. I mean, it's really incredible to watch. And I think this fight was set up to really give the Saudi audience an opportunity to really, rise to their feet and see something spectacular. Give me Terrance McKinney by first round, absolute, complete. I'm trying to even think of the right word to say. It's just going to be a knockout, and it's going to be nasty. What do you think?
I agree.
Yeah, and then if we move down, this fight card, just is so good. I mean, Jasmine Jasudavicius versus Mayra Bueno Silva. I mean, these are two high level, number 12 versus number 7. I believe Silva's coming down in weight a little bit. I don't think that's going to matter for Jasudavicius because she was a little big for her weight class anyways, or is big for her weight class. I think Silva has the better submission game, but I think Jasudavicius has the better ground and pound. So it will be interesting. I actually really want to see this fight go to the ground and see what would happen. Give me Jasudavicius by a really high level and fun third round decision. I was going to say third round TKO, but give me Jasudavicius by decision.
I'm going to go Bueno Silva by decision.
All right. Yeah, and that could go either way. That's a good fight. All right, we're going to go really quickly on these last two. Bogdan Grad versus Lucas Alexander. Oh, sorry. Let me get the odds are not listed here for some reason. Interesting about the Silva fight. All right.
Mine say plus 100 for Bogdan and minus 120 for Lucas.
Oh, for Silva and Jasudavicius.
Oh,
you have?
Yeah, I don't have any for those. Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, so as Milo said, minus 120 for Aleksandar. This is a pretty good fight. I'm going to take, I mean, it's a fun fight. I'm going to take Grad by decision. What are you going to take? Who are you going to take?
I think I'm gonna go Lucas by second round TKO.
All right. And then Hamdy Abdelwahab, hopefully I'm saying his name correctly, versus Jamal Pogues. This is not a bad fight to open. Hamdy is a big dude. He's a big dude. He's an elite level wrestler. He was on the Egyptian national team, but he was busted for PEDs and he's been out for a couple years. How's he going to look coming back? I don't know. Jamal Pogues, not in the best shape, but does have high volume, has a really crisp jab, but he doesn't really have much power. And I think all Hamdy has to do is take him down 3 times and he's going to hold him there. I mean, he's just such a better wrestler, and Pogues doesn't seem to have much on the ground. So give me Hamdy by a really sluggish and boring decision. What do you think?
I agree. I think it's gonna go decision for Hamdy. He's
Awesome.
been out for 3 years.
No, he's been out for 2. The other guy up the card was out for 3 years.
Oh, 3.
Yeah, but yeah, so 2 years is still a long time, and that he only had 1 fight in the UFC. So, but I don't. Pogues kind of beats the lower level, guys. So he can still win, but it's just when you get somebody who's predominantly a striker and you got somebody who's like that good of a wrestler, all he has to do is shoot and take him down once, early in the fight, roll him and it's over. Yeah. Lay on him. All right, there you have it. Those are our picks, but don't go anywhere because now we're going to talk about kicking it with Milo. As mentioned in the opener, Milo is not only trains MMA, but also is one of the top youth surfers in the world. And the question is, Milo, what happened to your eye there?
I was surfing a wave pool in Palm Springs, and I was getting like the barrel section that they have, and I like fell in a really bad spot, and it's about this deep, and I just smacked straight to the bottom. It I just bounced, but yeah, I kept surfing after, but it didn't hurt as bad as it looks, for some reason.
Is your face a little swollen?
Yeah, I had a black eye like yesterday. It was like all like puffed up right there.
I talked to your dad, and when he's talking about the barrel wave, it's called a slab, which means it's the heaviest, gnarliest setting. And I know you came in injured from snowboarding.
Yeah.
So I guess your dad was saying, yeah, you're a little stiff, and you got behind on this one wave, and then but I guess you said how you fell, you just dove head first.
Yeah, I accidentally dove head first. I shouldn't have.
That is a teenager decision. Why did you dive head first into concrete?
I don't know. I just did it.
Were you channeling your inner Marab when he did the icy lake?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I did.
Yeah.
It was very cold too. The water was freezing.
Yeah, I think it was 54, 55, and it was raining.
They said that it was definitely colder than that. It was freezing. Yeah.
Because I surfed there last year, like when it opened, and not the slab. I won't surf the slab; that's too heavy. But I surfed it, and it was it was during January. Yeah, same time last year, and it was so freaking cold. It might have been just to be in the ocean.
Yeah.
This time of year, it was crazy how cold that place gets. Yeah. But there you have it. We're not going to do a kook of the week this week. We'll do that next week. Milo, do you have a last word?
Drop the mic.
We're out.